Welcome back to my animal education series. Today I'm here at the San Antonio Zoo with Craig, who's standing over there. Hello.
Hey there.
So what room are we in now?
We are in our lovely Mexican mountain room.
What kind of animals are in this room?
Well, this room holds all of our Mexican mountain vipers and one garter snake species. We have 13 species of vipers in here. 12 of them are rattlesnakes and the one garter snake, and they're all found in the upper elevations of the mountains of Mexico.
Besides the garter snake in here, what kind of prey items can we expect these snakes to be eating?
Well, these guys eat a variety of things. They eat a lot of rodents, birds, but they also eat quite a bit of lizards. Lizards are a big time diet item.
What do you use to replicate their diet in captivity?
Well, being a herp department in a zoo, we like our lizards a little too much to feed them regularly to our vipers, so we feed primarily a rodent-based diet here.
What is the most endangered animal in this room?
Our most endangered, that's a tough question. I don't think any of these guys have a severe ranking of being endangered or vulnerable, but the reality is a lot of them are in trouble with our global warming. They're only found on certain elevation of mountains, and as it gets warmer, these guys can't run and head for the hills, so to speak, and get to cooler weather. It's tough for them.
Are most of these species part of an SSP program?
We do have one species, and that's our Mexican Landsat rattlesnakes. They're part of an SSP. And that is probably the one species that is probably in some of the most trouble. They're in a medium elevation. They're been found in some areas that have prime agricultural habitat, and so they've been losing out to basically the farms.
So could you show me around some of the animals that are in this room, or tell me about them?
Sure. We have 12 species of rattlesnakes in here, which are one of my favorites. We have probably one of the most striking, another bad pun, but I'm sorry, is our banded rock rattlesnakes. We have a locale-specific type from Zacatecas, and the males are different from the females. They're morphologically different, and they have this beautiful mint green banded color on them. They're just beautiful. It's kind of odd to see a mint green blue licking rattlesnake. We also have our Carreteran Duskies, we have Armstrong Duskies, we have New Mexico Ridge-Nose, Southern Ridge-Nose, twin-spotted rattlesnakes. A non-rattlesnake species we have is the Mexican black-tailed viper, which is a really unique looking snake as well.
With these animals being mountainous species, how do you adjust the care for that?
That's a great question. Some of it's still the same. The best thing you can do for your reptiles is give them choice so they can throw them regularly properly. Being a montane species, though, we take it to a little bit more extreme with their ambient temperature. During the daytime, we keep these guys in the low 70s. In fact, it's probably around 70 right now. Nighttime, we drop it down to the low 60s, and that's during the summertime. Wintertime, we drop those ambient temperatures all the way down into the low 50s. But they still need choice. They still need to bask and get their optimal body temperature going. So we have basking lamps, real tight spectrum, tight focused heat lamp, and it ranges between 105 to 120 degrees.
Of all the snakes in this room, this is a difficult question, but what is your favorite species in here?
That is tough. I think I'd have to go with the flavor of the day because I like them all. So the species that I really enjoy working with right now are probably our ridge-nose rattlesnakes. We got two species that are not very common in captivity. We've been having some preliminary success with them, so it kind of makes it exciting to work with them. So by default, they're kind of my favorite right now in here.
You mentioned that the one species was part of an SSP. Are you breeding any other species of snakes?
Yes, in fact, we are breeding in here the majority of the species, actually. While some of these species don't have an SSP, or they may not have a ranking of threatened or critically endangered, they still are in trouble due to the habitat they live in. A lot of times those rankings just come about because, or don't come about because they haven't been studied enough. So we are kind of a holding place for these species here, and we're just doing our part to make sure that they stay common and abundant, and just in case they run out of them in the mountains of Mexico, we're going to have an assurance colony here.
Will all these new snakes that you're breeding go to different zoos and other sanctuaries and organizations like that, or will they stay here at the San Antonio Zoo?
Both. We maintain genetic lines here. Not only do we have our current breeders, but we also have, we're setting up for our future, but we do have surplus, and we do send them out to other AZ institutions, and that's part of AZ Zoo, is just having sustainability and maintaining species.
Obviously, with venomous snakes and considered dangerous animals here, that have the potential to be dangerous, how do you guys keep these animals safe and keep you guys safe and make sure they stay inside of the cages?
Well, what we do is we do extensive training. Training someone on venomous snakes alone here takes at least 4 months usually on average, and it's quite extensive. It's all different methods of handling. There's some knowledge base that's required. So lots and lots of training, and even when you're finally certified, the training never stops. It's always reinforced. But a lot of it is in our how we handle things. We got locks on every single unit. We have special identification cards for our venomous. We couldn't get red because red didn't show the print very well, so we went with hot pink. But compared to white, that stands out. It's got the little toxicity sign on there. Venomous tells us what type of antivenom we need. Should someone get bitten, what they're going to do is they're going to secure their animal first, which you have plenty of time to do. And then they are going to call in for help. They're going to grab this and they're going to hold this, because if for some reason they become incapacitated, unconscious for whatever reason, at least this is with them and we know how to act from there.
Well, thank you so much for telling us about this awesome little room here with a bunch of awesome and dangerously scary animals, but also beautiful at the same time. And thank you guys so much for watching this week's video. Don't forget to leave a big thumbs up down below, subscribe to my channel, and as always, I'll see you next week.